Hi everyone, this is Paul from Property Hunter, and today I'm going to talk about how you can potentially upgrade from a HDB to a condo. A lot of people have been asking me in today's high interest rate market and with the current sentiment in the market, is it a good time to upgrade from your HDB to a condo? Or in the first place, how can one actually upgrade from a HDB to a condo? I feel that this is a very important and interesting topic because not many people knows exactly how to go about doing that. So let's get started. Oh yeah, so before I begin, please help me to like this video so that it will really help us a lot to produce more of such content. So here's the 5 common things that I will ask any friends who come to me to ask about whether they should upgrade and how they can upgrade from a HDB to a condo. Firstly, what is your affordability? Next, what's your objective and intention to sell? Should you buy first or sell first? What are your future plans in 5 to 10 years time? And most importantly, have your flat MOP, minimum occupational period. So what is affordability? Affordability simply, I will list it down in 3 main points. Firstly, what is your available funds? Meaning your cash on hand plus your CPF OA balance. To check your CPF OA balance, I'll put down the link somewhere in the comment whereby you can just log in with your SingPass and check out your available balance in your OA account. So for sales proceed, you need to find out your selling price of your property, which you can go to HDB website to check out the recent transactions in there, or you can reach out to our team to get you a detailed valuations for your particular unit. Next, you need to find out your outstanding loan. Go to HDB website, we will put a link below. You can click on it and just log in with your SingPass and you will find out your outstanding loan amount. You should also go to CPF website to find out your CPF amount used for your HDB purchase earlier on, the amount that you have used, plus accrued interest, because that's the amount that you need to return to CPF upon the sales of your HDB. So with these 3 numbers, you can just simply use, let's take an example, say 600,000 is the selling price of your HDB, and you have a 400,000 outstanding loan, and you have a CPF amount used plus accrued interest of 100,000 to CPF. That will mean 600,000 minus 400,000 minus 100,000. That will mean that you have a 100,000 cash proceed. But of course, the amount that's being returned to your CPF, the CPF amount plus accrued interest, can still be used together with your cash proceed for the next property purchase. So loan eligibility is the most important part for property investment. You should understand what is MSR, TDSR, and I'll give you some fun facts later on. So MSR, it simply limits you from not spending more than 30% on a monthly basis of your gross income. What do I mean by that? Say example, if your household income is $10,000 as a gross income, 30% will be the cap, which means that $3,000 will be considered as your MSR cap for any mortgage servicing for the purchase of your HDB, which means that your monthly repayment for your HDB cannot be more than $3,000. TDSR on the reverse is only for private properties. HDB use MSR and private condos use TDSR. There's a cap of 55% on your TDSR. So again, if you use $10,000 as your household monthly income, 55% of your household income will be $5,500. However, the difference over here for TDSR, which is total debt servicing ratio, it will include your car loan, any renovation loan, any credit card loans, including a certain percentage of your monthly credit card spending will be add on, and all these numbers cannot be more than $5,500 in this context if it is $10,000 of a household income. So this again will limit you from borrowing. So some fun facts for you is to cut down on your credit card spending when you're planning to buy a property. Okay, that pretty much covers all about affordability. Next, we're going to talk about objective and intention. Why are you considering to sell and upgrade to a condo? What's the intention behind it? Is it to grow your assets, or is it for personal reason, for a better lifestyle for your family? Many people have many different of why they want to upgrade to a condo. Is it, do you need to move near schools, move near your workplace, or move near parents? Example, what is your risk appetite? Do you intend to just upgrade in terms of living standards for your family, or you are very specific and wants to use this journey as a way to build your assets and your retirement funds? The reason why I'm asking this is because different objective will give you different result. Let's say, for example, some people may come to me and say that, Paul, I just want to find a space that is particular for these particular schools. So it's very specific. We just need to make sure that you are within 1 kilometer to that place, and that's all. Some may come to me and say that, Paul, I just want to build my retirement sums. I can make do with a smaller unit. What would you recommend? So then in this case, we'll probably find something that has more investment value return, that I'm more confident that in the long run, 10, 20 years down the road, you have something that you can really rely and fall back on. At the same time, some people comes to me and says that, Paul, space is very important and I really don't want the new one because they are much smaller. I just want something that's spacious for my family. Then in that case, it is again very clear. We will go for something that most likely older, depending on the budgets that you have, but they give you a lot of space. They may not give you as nice facilities, but space in terms of living hall, kitchen, bedroom size are huge. So having a clear intention and objective will determine the type of properties that we will recommend you. So back to objective and intention again. If your intention is to grow your assets, you can consider a BUC property, building under construction in short, or new launch, simply because it has a faster gain, usually, if you choose the right project. And most importantly, it also avoided the high interest rate right now, which is 3% at the point of recording. When you buy a BUC, it progressively pays down the mortgages, and it could be 1 year down the road where interest rate could have correct by itself. But if you're looking for space, then just simply go for a resale property. There are ready units out there that you can simply move into it immediately. And if you want to learn more about what projects to choose, which best suit you, whether a BUC or resale, I think that's a very big topic. We will create another video just for this. Do remember to subscribe to our channel to let us know what you want to learn more, and so that we can produce more of such videos later on. Okay, now that we have covered the objective and intention, let's take a look at number 3. Should you buy first or sell first? I think the most important question to ask yourself is, do you have an alternative place to stay? Of course, not a lot of us has it, but if you have that luxury of that, let's say example, if you were to sell your place first and during this transition, you can move back to say parents' place or in-law place, which they will help to take care of the children at the same time, you will have that luxury and that options to actually sell your property and slowly hunt for one along the way. So that is one critical question we usually will ask anyone who is looking to sell their property, because selling a property is easy, but it's the transitions to make sure that there is a smooth transitions from one home to another that is important, because now you're going to uproot your whole family with these moving plans. So accommodations. If you do not have that alternative place to stay, some people may choose to rent first. So if you were to rent first, there will be rental costs involved. Is that justifiable? It depends on the time of the market. There are different times that we will think that it is okay to rent first and go for investment property, while at time rental really eats into your profits. So that will be another big topic again. The next available options will be to buy first, then you sell your property. What happens if you decide to buy first? I have clients who decide to buy first. It is very important to avoid ABSD, additional buyer stamp duty, if you were to buy first. Here's the catch. Your current HDB must be a matrimonial home. That means that in 2 names, you are going to buy a condo. Matrimonial to matrimonial. In this case, this is the only way for you to have a ABSD remission, which means that you will have to pay the ABSD first, which is 20% of the purchase price of that condo that you're going to buy. And upon buying, within 6 months, you have to sell your HDB. And if you do that, you can actually apply for ABSD remission or ABSD refund to get your 20% ABSD back. But that will of course means that you will have to have lots of cash on hand in order to do so. Of course, not all of us will have that spare cash to pay the ABSD or an alternative place to stay. So the most common scenario is to sell and buy concurrently. And how do we do that? When you're selling your HDB, to negotiate for an extension of stay. This will buy you time to hunt for property or do a renovations of your next property, the condo, while you're still staying in your HDB after the sales completion. This is very important. Next, when buying your private property, it is also very important to try to negotiate for an early completion. Instead of 12 weeks sales completion, try to negotiate for 8 weeks if possible. And also do make sure that you have somewhere in your offer to purchase to state that the seller will allow visits with your contractors for renovations planning. You should always plan your renovations, if you're going to do any, ahead of time, so that the moment when you collect your key, you can start your renovations. In some cases, we have came across vacant units and we even negotiate for an early handover, which means that the contractor actually starts renovations before the sales completion. But of course, there will be a bit more complicated with indemnity letter to be signed, etc. This is just the timeline for movings. You should also take note of the cash flow, because when you're selling your HDB, the funds may not be back when you're making for the purchase for your condos. So this is a very common problem as well. Do take note that CPF will take as long as 3 to 4 weeks after the sales completion to be refunded back to your CPF account. So if you're using this CPF for your purchase, you will face this challenge whereby the money is not back in your account yet and you have difficulties making the sales completion or the down payment or the payment to exercise your condos. So in this case, this is where what we call a bridging loan that will come in. This bridging loan will help you to bridge the gaps in terms of cash flow during this period. But some of the criteria of this bridging loan is to make sure that you already have an exercise option of your HDB, and you can then go to the bank, whichever bank that you are taking out your mortgage with, and ask them for a bridging loan to bridge this gap while your CPF is waiting to be refunded to your CPF account. So number 4, future plans. What are your future plans ahead? Do you intend to invest in a second property later on? Like what we say, watch out for our other videos which will talk about timeline. It is very important to invest as early as you can because the mortgage timeline will shorten over time. The maximum age that you can borrow for 30 years loan is 65. So with 65 of age, the maximum loan that you can take is 30 years. So with this, invest as early as you can, and if you intend to decouple, then buy a second property later on, you may want to structure your purchase instead of a standard 50-50 of shares ownership. You may want to structure it as a 99% and 1% as a manner of holding. Please don't confuse these with the recent saga or with IRAS, catching people and the 60 million crawback on the ABSD issues. One important thing to note when you are planning for decoupling is to make sure that whoever that is buying over the shares of the 1%, the person must be able to finance the existing loan of this current property. Okay, so if you want to learn more about decoupling, we have an existing video which covers very in-depth about decoupling. Do check out our other videos in the channel. I'll put the link in our comment here as well. So upgrading from a HDB to a condo isn't really that difficult. As long as you get your numbers right and you get your timeline planned out, and of course, get an experienced agent to assist you with it. To make it easy, simply reach out to our team and we can get you all your numbers and all your timeline and plannings straightened out for you. So this is the end of the video and I hope that you have found it useful. Again, help me to like, share and subscribe to this video. And remember to turn on the notification bell so that you will receive notifications whenever I share any of our videos again. Thanks very much and see you again. Bye.